Hello everyone. Uh, Today we'll be discussing about JSON. Okay, so in the last session we have discussed about REST API, and while discussing about the components of REST API request. So one of the key component was the payload. Okay, so we did not discuss about what is the structure of the payload, how the payload goes. So in the last session, I just demonstrated the structure of payload. I just used like a sample text payload. Okay, I did not discuss about the structure of the payload. So today we will discuss about the structure of the payload, and we are going to discuss about JSON. So JSON is one of the widely used popular structure that we use for transferring the data across applications. Okay, so this is one of the widely used payload structure. Okay, and so prior to JSON, there was a popular structure which was called XML, and after that, with the arrival of JSON, the use of XML got reduced. Now, if you see most of the web applications, JSON is used as the data interchange format. So let us discuss what is JSON. Okay, so before that, let's get into the diagram. Okay, so here yesterday as we discussed, so in case of REST API, there will be two parties. So one is the client and the server. Okay, so the client will be making the request, and as a response to the request, the server will be responding back. Okay, this will be the server and this is the client. Okay, so here the client will be sending a message, and as a response to that, the server will be responding back. So the client has to send the data to the server in such a way that the server will understand. Okay, so as we discussed yesterday, the REST API, it is not specific to any programming language. Okay, so the data interchange format also, we need to define a standard format so that everyone will be able to make that kind of format. Okay, so we can say the payload structure will be something like a contract between the server and the client. Okay, and the structure should be something, so if client is sending something, it has to be something that the server must understand, right? So it has to be like a standard structure. So that should be in we can say in a way that server should easily be able to parse, because nowadays if you see, think about Facebook. So when you load your profile, so it will be loading it will be loading so many things, right? Your profile picture, your friends list, your news feeds, so many things will be getting listed. So it has to be like in a very nice format. So here the JSON comes. Okay, so JSON is like a very simple format, and it is there in this industry from almost 20 years. So this JSON was the first JSON was used in, early 2000. So I think in the year of 2001, and companies like big companies like Yahoo, they have started using JSON from since 2005. It's 15 16 years back onwards, this JSON is in the market, and maybe we can say from the past 10 years it is widely used. Okay, and if you see very old web applications, you can see the data exchange format as XML. So I'll tell you what is the difference. I'll give you a brief example of XML, give you a brief example of JSON, and I'll tell you what are the advantages of JSON when compared with XML. Okay, so let's take the scenario of a simple example where that we discussed yesterday, like the attendance marking application. Okay, so in the attendance marking application, as we discussed yesterday, there will be mobile application with every employees of the company. So think about the situation, like lockdown happened, COVID lockdown happened, and everyone are doing work from home. Okay, and because of this, the company has decided to give a mobile application to the employees. Okay, and so the employees will be having a mobile app, and they will be marking the attendance, and the attendance will be recorded in the central server, which is located somewhere in the company. Okay, and employee, so from every mobile application, when they do this mark the attendance, as we discussed yesterday, there will be one is employee ID. The information that goes out from this mobile app is one is employee ID. Okay, then let's say 1 2 3 4, this is Okay, then next information is start time. Okay, so let's say this is like 2 3. Okay, then 0 1 0 1. Okay, then t, then maybe 10 0 0 0 0. Okay, so this is the start time. Okay, then action, this is like login, right? So then this is action login. So similarly logout will be there. Okay, so this is like the in and out. Okay, so when this request is made from this mobile app, so this information, this is like a key value pair. We can say employee ID is the key, value is 1 2 3 4. Okay, start time is the key, this is timestamp is the instead of start time, maybe we can say time. Okay, time equal to, this is the timestamp, and action equal to login. So this, once it comes to the server will basically parse this values. Okay, it will parse what is the employee ID, what is the time, and what is the action. If it is login, it will mark in the database. Okay, this employee made the login at this time, so it will mark in the database. I'm talking about a simple application, so it doesn't, you don't have to worry about the security aspects right now. So think about the single application where we send this payload and the server accepts the request. So this is a simple JSON structure with 3 keys and values. Okay, 3 key value pairs. Okay, so this is a simple example of like a JSON. Okay, now let's think about, so let's open this in a notepad. So this is the JSON. Okay, and similarly let's create something similar for in XML. Okay, so in XML, so in JSON, as you see above, what are the basically like the elements other than key value pairs? We use this curly brackets. Okay, and we use this double quotes. Okay, then we have a colon that separates the key value pair. We have commas that separates the individual key value pairs. Okay, the key and value are separated by colon. Okay, so if you see, key and value are separated by colon, and the entire JSON is like surrounded by what? It is surrounded by curly brackets. This is a simple JSON. It doesn't have any nested structure within this, but we can have nested, in practical scenarios, our JSON structures will be very complicated. Okay, so it supports string, integer, arrays. Okay, so and JSON objects. So all these kind of data types. Okay, so let's think about like the same data in a XML structure. Okay, so emp id. Okay, and as we already know, this XML will have opening and tag and closing tag. Okay, for everything. So emp id, then similarly time, and then time, then action. Okay, so here emp id equal to 1 2 3 4, and then time will be, I'll copy this time, this will be the time, and this action will be login. Okay, so if you see, to represent the same data, I have, this is my JSON and this is my XML. Okay, and if you want to validate, there are so many online data validators basically for validating XML and JSON. So that you can try out your own formats and see whether it is valid as per the standards. You can validate XML files, you can validate JSON files. Okay, so this, now I think you got how a JSON looks like, how an XML looks like. Okay, now let's go back to the slides. So what is JSON? So JSON is JavaScript object notation. Okay, so this came basically from the JavaScript object notation. So it actually has the structure, or basically the foundation came from JavaScript. But this is language agnostic. It is not specific to any language. It is just a text file format. As you see here, I just used a notepad and created this JSON. So there is no programming language involved in this. And almost all the programming languages has parsers basically that can read this JSON at a very high speed. Read and write JSONs is reading and writing JSON is not like a difficult thing nowadays. It is very easy because almost all the programming languages has built-in support to JSON. Okay, now then lightweight. Lightweight, I'll tell you why it is called lightweight. So let's count the characters associated with this JSON. Okay, so if you count the characters, you see the additional element other than the real data. It's only this brackets, okay, this double quotes, colons, commas. Okay, but think about the same thing here in case of the XML. You see the employee ID itself, the key itself is repeated twice. Okay, basically the opening tag and the closing tag. Time, it's repeated twice, opening tag, closing tag, and you have this characters and basically the brackets. Okay, angular brackets you have open, greater than, less than kind of simple, right? And the slashes. So if you count the number of characters, okay, we can count by like using a simple program. Let's count here. XML data equal to, I'm just using Python, but don't worry about this. This is not like a programming session. So just for making you understand, okay, what is the difference in the size, okay, to make you understand, I'm just using this example. So for that, I'm using just a small program at my side to show this. Okay, so now JSON data. And I'm just adding this one. So if you see this JSON data, this is the one. Okay, now let's see print, okay, len of XML data. Okay, this will show the number of characters of XML data. Okay, length of XML data, then you see this is the length of XML data. Okay, so plus this is the addition. Okay, now same thing we will do length of JSON data. Okay, so length of JSON data, and this is JSON data. Okay, so now let's do this print running. Okay, and okay, sorry, this, okay, this is a, oh sorry, that's a common simple mistake. So this is str. Okay, this is an integer, this is coming as an integer, so that is the reason. So I have to convert it to string. Okay, so then let me print this. Okay, so if you see, to represent the same data in JSON we have used 68 characters, and in XML the same data required 154 characters to store the same data. Okay, so that is the difference. So you see, to represent a small piece of data itself, this much size was required. That means almost like more than double number of characters are required to store the same data in XML. So this means JSON is very lightweight, right? Because it is very simple, but easy to understand as well. If you see this is also easy to understand from a readability perspective. XML is easy to understand, okay, and JSON is also easy to understand. But when it comes to like complex data structures, okay, complex JSONs, complex payloads, JSON will be more easy to understand. Okay, because I'll show you, like, I mean, some more nested structures. Okay, but from a and again from the size perspective, JSON is very lightweight compared to XML. So this a JSON with just 3 key value pair shows, like, I mean, the difference. It's like, I mean, less than half of what we need in XML. I hope, I mean, you got the meaning of lightweight. And then used for data storage and data interchange. So this JSON format, if you see, this is human understandable as well as machine understandable. Okay, so this is a proper format to store, and basically it's a very good format to store. And for data interchange means basically for the communication between servers and clients, this is one of the best format, and this is what is widely used for data exchange. And next is and again another thing for data, coming to data storage. So nowadays there are several databases that stores data in document format. For example, MongoDB. Okay, so MongoDB, if you see the way how it stores data, it's in JSON format. Okay, so similarly, if you see Elasticsearch, it's another document database. If you see how it is stored, how it is storing database data, it is in JSON format. So there are databases that stores data in this format. Okay, it is not just two. There are several databases that stores data in this document, basically JSON format, like DynamoDB in Amazon. So there are several databases that stores in this format. Then next is like, I mean, that we already know, JSON is human readable, JSON is in text format. Okay, so next is the syntax. Syntax is what? So it is how to write, how to create a JSON. Okay, so JSON is in key value pair. So as we know here, every element in JSON, it is a key and it's a combination of key and value. This is the key and this is the value. This is the key and this is the value. This is the key and this is the value. Okay, so it's a simple thing. It's a key value pair and data is separated by commas. Okay, so here if you see, each key value pairs are separated by commas. Okay, so the key value pairs are separated by comma. Each element is different and each elements are separated by comma. Then curly brackets holds objects. Okay, so here if you see, this entire thing is part of the single JSON object, right? So this curly brackets are hold objects. Okay, so I'll show you a nested JSON example, then you will understand more. Square brackets hold arrays. Right now in our example, we don't have any arrays within this, arrays or list within this. So basically square bracket is used to store arrays. Okay, so let's consider an example that stores some, basically like, I mean, a complex structure. Okay, so let's think about a scenario. So to store the details of 5 students. Okay, maybe 5 kids and their name. Okay, and the fruits that they like. Okay, or maybe like, I mean, the subjects that they study. So let's think about that. Let's take that scenario. Okay, so first is like, I mean, let's prepare the array students. So I have the key students and now I have a list of students, right? So let's prepare a square bracket for the list of student, and inside that I'll be having the details of each student, right? So I'll have name, right? Name, and let's say Abel. Okay, now subjects, the subjects that they study. I'm just giving you some random example, okay, just for your understanding. And here it is physics, maths, chemistry. Okay, so this is the detail of first student. Next is second student. So second student name is Ion. Subject computer science. Electronics. Drawing. Okay, then third student. So let's take the details of third student. So here Varun. Okay, English, French, then chemistry. Okay, so this are the details of the student, and let's close this. Okay, so this complete thing, if you see, This is a JSON. Okay, let's open some JSON validator. Okay, let's JSON validator. Let's open Google. Okay, so JSON validator. So online JSON, there are several JSON online validators available. Okay, let's validate this JSON. Okay, so this is a valid JSON. Now if you see the structure, so this is a valid JSON, and you see students is the first key, and the value for the student is a list. Okay, if you see, let's expand like this. Let's I mean basically shrink it first, and let's expand one by one. So students is the first key. Okay, and now if you expand the students, you have multiple things inside, right? So it has details of individual students. So first is like the first student, that is like Abel. Okay, Abel, and what we have, let's think like this. So this will be easy to understand. Okay, so we have, so I have formatted nicely. Now you see, okay, so student, it's an array. Okay, we have details of 3 students. And what is the first student? First student, if you see, it's again, okay, name is Abel, and subjects, it's a list of 3 elements. Okay, second student, if you see, name is Ivan, and subjects, 3 subjects. Okay, third one, okay, third student, okay, and subjects, if you see, the subjects that he is interested. Okay, and whatever you start, if you start a square bracket, it has to be closed. Okay, if you start a curly bracket, it has to be closed. Everything, whatever you open, you have to close it. So this is, this is just an example that I created just to demonstrate this one. Okay, so I hope you understood this example. Okay, you're clear with this example, and this can be easily parsed. Okay, so if you see, maybe like let me show you this example. So import, this is Python. Okay, in Python we can easily parse this JSON. So let's think, take print type of JSON data. So this is in string format right now because I have used this quotes. Let me remove the quotes from here. Okay, so type of JSON data, it will show dictionary. Okay, class of dict. Okay, now print JSON data of emp id. See, it shows 1 2 3 4. It basically it parsed, it's able to parse this. Okay, print JSON data dot keys. Okay, it will print all the keys, JSON keys. You see, employee ID, time, action, print JSON. So how will you parse a key value pair? You basically pass the value. So JSON data of employee ID will give the value of employee ID here. That is this one. Okay, so and this JSON is very similar to the Python data structure dictionary. Okay, it is all the same. Okay, so because of that, like it is very easy to operate on JSON using Python. Okay, so now I think you got the clarity on the square brackets, curly brackets, and the commas. Okay, and the key value pairs. One more point we can say, the key value pairs are separated by colon. Okay, oh, it became a smiley. Okay, key value pairs are separated by colon, and this is what you see in almost all the web application. If you inspect any of this application, you will see this is the underlying format, and with my example you already got why it is lightweight. I hope this example, this demonstration is useful. If you have any comments or queries or anything feedbacks, please comment below this video. So subscribe to my channel, so for more videos I'll be uploading frequently. Thank you very much for your time.